Now, in today's session, what I'm going to discuss here is we'll discuss 2 points now in today's session. Now, what are the 2 points we are going to discuss here is let me copy from here. First point, you'll understand how to sort the data in the gallery dynamically. The first point, we'll understand how to go and sort the data in the galleries dynamically. In yesterday's class, whatever we discussed, sorting the data, it is static. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about how to go and sort the data in the galleries dynamically. The first point we'll understand now in today's session is how to sort the data in the galleries dynamically by using some control. What type of control it is? Sort control, guys. And also, once after knowing that how to go and sort the data in the galleries dynamically, we'll understand one more point: how to perform such filter sort functions dynamically and also combined in the galleries. In the galleries, combinedly, how to go and use the search function, filter function, and sort functions dynamically we'll discuss. So these 2 points we'll understand now in today's session, guys. So first, let me go and discuss about how to go and sort the data in the galleries dynamically with the help of some control, that is sort control. Now let me go and open the Power Apps and let me show you what we discussed in the yesterday's class, guys. Let me go and open the Power Apps. Let me go on this, open this app, gallery filter. Let me go and open the app, whatever the app we are working. Let me go to this screen, second screen, gallery screen. When I go and click on this, it is going to navigate to the gallery filter screen. Gallery filter. Now see, in the yesterday's class we discussed about how to go and apply sort technique, how to go and sort the data, and also how to go and search the data in the gallery. This function is used to search the data, and whatever the functions I'm using here, these functions are used to filter the data. So in yesterday's class we discussed how to go and search the data in the galleries, how to go and filter the data in the galleries, and also how to go and sort the data in the galleries. Combinedly, how to go and use the search, filter, and sort functions we discussed. And now see, whenever if I go and play this app, whenever if I open the app, I am sorting the data in the gallery in on what column, guys? I am sorting the data in the gallery based on the sales column. In which order? Descending order. If you see in this gallery, I am sorting the data based on the sales column values in the descending order, guys. The data in this table or in this gallery is in the descending order. So it is static. Whenever if you go and open the app, if you see this gallery, by default this gallery is going to sort the data in the table based on the sales column values in the descending order. It is static. Now my requirement here is I need to go and make it as dynamic, guys. So whatever the formula I'm writing here, whatever the functions I'm using here, this function here I'm sorting the data in the galleries, it is static. Manually I'm hard coding here the column I want to sales do the sorting is sales column and the order is descending order. Now I want to make this as dynamic. Now how to sort the data in the gallery dynamically we'll discuss now in today's session, guys. Now I want to allow the users, I want to provide some provision to the users in order to go and sort that data in the table. Let's say I want to allow the user to sort the data in the gallery based on the sales column, profit column, and also let us say customer name column, guys. I want to allow the users to sort the data on these three columns. So by default, whatever the function I'm using here or whatever the formula I'm writing here, this formula by default, it is going to sort the data based on the sales column in the descending order. It is static. I want to make it as dynamic. So in order to make this sorting functions as dynamic, what we need to do here is, first of all, let me go and add some controls here, guys. What controls means? I want to add something called controls called sort control. There is one control called sort. So this is the sort control which is used to go and sort the data in the galleries based on the columns. Now see, I'm going to add one control. Go to the insert tab. Let me go and add one control. So let me go and search for sort. Now see, there is a control called sort control. Just click on it. Now first I want to sort the data based on the sales column. I want to sort the data based on which column? Sales column. So select this control, sort control, fit it here, fit it here. Let me reduce some size to 45, or let me keep it as 35 and keep the fit the position. Just I want to fit some positions. Fine. Let me keep it like this. And also it is in the blue color. I want to change the color to white. Let's select the control, go to the color and change it to white. And now see, I'm adding one control here, guys. What is this control? This is a short control. Now this is just one control. I'm not doing nothing here. Just I'm adding one control here. So I'm adding one control here. The control is short control. It is too short. Let me increase some size. Uh, let me do one thing. Let me increase the height to 35 and let me change the exposition to 175. Fine. And also let me increase some width. Now it looks good. Now just go back. Let me bring the screen to normal position. Now try to understand, guys, what I'm doing here. I'm just adding one control here, that is short control. Like this, I want to add the same control for profit column and also for the customer name column, guys. Now what I will do here is just copy the same control, copy it, paste it here. Now keep this control here after the profit column. Just keep this control after the profit column. Just keep it. And also just copy the same control, paste, and keep this control after the customer name column. Keep the same control after where? Here in the customer name column. Why? Because I want to sort the data based on the customer name also. So I want to increase some size. First let me keep it here. Let me do one thing. Let me reduce the size of the region. Let me increase the size of this customer name. Let me increase the width and let me keep it here. Fine. Now just I'm adding some control here, that is short control, guys. Now these are the controls I'm adding here now. Now try to understand, whenever if I go and click on this icon, short icon, I need to go and sort the data in the table. Let's say if I go and click on the customer name column, it need to sort the data in the customer name column. Customer name column based on the values of the customer name, it need to go and sort the data in the ascending order or descending order. If I go and click on the sales column short function, short icon, it need to sort the data based on the sales column. Or if I go and click on this profit column short icon, it need to go and sort the data in the ascending order or in the descending order. So previously whatever the code I am writing in the gallery, that is static, now I want to make it as dynamic with the help of this short controls. Now first step here is go and add some controls like this, guys. So you can add some controls, how many columns you want to allow the users to sort. So keep those many controls here. I want to allow the user to sort the data based on the customer name column, sales column, and also the profit column. Now once after adding the controls, now go to the app, go to the app. Now this one will have one property called on start property, guys. Select the app and go to the on start property. Go to the on start property. I think here we're having, I'm declaring some two variables. Let me remove this. Let me add two variables here, guys. Let me add two variables here. Now what are the variables I'm going to add it here is, I'm going to declare one variable, set variable. What that variable is? Var short column. What is that? What is the variable name? Var short column. And keep comma. What is the value I'm going to assign to this variable is, I'm going to assign the value as sales. I'm going to assign the value as sales. Next, I want to create one more variable. The variable name is set var order type. Var let me var short order. Let me keep it like this. Var short order. That means based on which order you want to sort the data. Let me pass the order type as descending order. By default, I'm going to assign the value as what? Descending order. Now try to understand. On start of the app, whenever if you open the app, immediately it is going to declare two variables. One is where short column. Second is what? Where short order. What is the column name I'm assigning to this variable? Sales column. What is the value I'm going to assign to the order variable? Descending order. Now what I'm doing here is, whenever I am going to open the app, it is going to initiate these two variables case. It is going to declare the two variables. In the where short column, it is going to add the value as sales. In the where short order, is going to keep the order as descending order. Now once after declaring the variables, now go to the icons. First let me go to the sales icon, guys. Go to the sales column. Go to the column called sales column. In the sales column, I'm having one icon, right? Short icon. Go and select this short icon. Sales column short icon. Select this one, and then go to the on select property. This icon is having one property, that is on select property. Go to the on select property. By default is false. Just remove it. Now I want to write some code here, guys. I want to write some function. Now what I'm doing here is, whenever I go under, click on this icon, short icon, which is there in the sales column. Now what's my requirement here is, now I am going to declare one more variable here, the same variables case. Whatever the variables I declared on start of the screen, the same variables I'm going to declare here. Where short column. Now what is the value I'm going to assign to this variable is sales. What's the value I'm going to assign to this variable here is sales. So whenever I go and click on this icon, what need to happen? It need to go and declare one variable. In that variable, what value I'm storing here? Sales value. And also in the same way, next, set where short order. There is one more variable, right? Order type. Now I am going to pass the order here. Now where short order, and what is the value I'm going to assign to this? I'm going to use one if condition, guys. If where short order, is equals to ascending order, if this variable is holding the order as ascending order, then I want to make it as descending order. If it is holding the value as ascending order, I want to make it as descending. Otherwise I want to keep it as same, ascending order. Otherwise I want to keep here what? Just one second. Where short order is equal to short order dot ascending, then I want to keep it as descending. Otherwise I want to keep here as short order dot ascending. Just I want to keep it like this. Now see here, on select of this icon, what need to happen? First go and declare one variable, assign the value to that variable sales, and then there is one more variable, right? Where short order. Now by default, whenever you open the app, whenever if you go and open the app, now see on start of this app, what is the variable is holding where short order? It is holding the value as descending order. So by default it is holding the value as descending order. So what I'm doing here in this icon, if that variable is holding the value as ascending, make it as descending. Otherwise I want to make it as same ascending order. So on select of this icon, I am declaring two variables, where short order, where short column, and then order. So on select of this variable, go and assign the value to this variable. What value? Sales value. Now just copy it and do it for the profit also, guys. Go to the another short icon which is for the profit. Select this one. Go to the on select property, remove, and paste it here. Same, just copy and paste. Now in place of sales, let me go and keep here what? Profit. In place of sales, just replace with what? Profit. And also let me go to the customer name column, select the icon, go to the on select property. Let me remove this one and keep it here what? Same function, but in place of this sales, I want to replace it what? Customer name. So just copy the name here and go to this icon. In place of sales, just go and replace it what? Customer name. Now try to understand, guys. Now I done the two steps here. One is on start of the app, I am declaring two variables which is used to hold the column name and the order type. So whenever if you go and open the app in this gallery, whenever if you go and open the app in this gallery, what is the default order I am keeping here is that default it need to sort the data based on the sales column in the descending order whenever you open it. Once after open the app, if the user wants to sort the data from their end, they need to go and click on it. If the user is clicking on the sales, then I need to change the value that variable to sales, and then I want to change the order type. If the user is click sort the data on the profit column, then I want to assign the value to this variable as what profit. If the user is sorting wants to sort the data based on the customer name column, then I want to assign the value to what value I want to assign to this variable is customer name column. Just to make it as dynamic, I'm keeping these icons and I'm copy and paste it everything is. Whenever you open the app, this is the default order. If the user wants to sort it, then the user can go and click on this sort icons. Now once after doing this, once after assigning the values to these icons, now select the gallery. Now see in this gallery, by default I am keeping here the values case. So in place of values, what I will do here is, in place of hard coding the values, directly passing the sales column, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the variable name. What is the variable name? In place of sales, I'm going to pass the variable name as var short column, var short column. And in place of passing the order directly as descending order, I'm going to keep it as var short order. Now just previously I'm passing the column name, I'm passing the order. Now in place of passing the values manually, I'm using the variable names here. And also let me change this sort function to sort by columns. Let me change it to what? Sort by columns. Just change it to sort by columns. Now see here guys, once after doing this, once after passing the variable names here, just go and save the app. Go and save it. Now before going to play, now go to this app, go to these three ellipses, click on run on start. Whenever I go and click on run on start, then only on start of the app I am having two variables, right? These variables will activate. By default, these variables are holding any value means no, var short column is not holding any value, it is blank. When this variable will activate, whenever if you go and start the app, let me go and start the app now, run on start. Now when I go and click on run on start, now the app is ready. Now when I go and double click on it, now see what is this variable is holding the value? Sales. So by default is holding the value as sales, and by default what is the order? Descending order. This variable is holding the value as sales, or what is the order it is holding? Default descending order. Now whenever if you go to the, let me go to the screen one. Now run on start, go to the click on gallery search. Now see by default it is sorting the data in the gallery in which order? In the descending order based on which column values? Based on sales column values. By default whenever you open the app, it will display the data in the descending order based on the sales column. Now if the user wants to sort the data based on the profit column means, yes, they can sort. Go to the profit column and click on this three, click on the sort icon. Now see when I go and click on the sort icon, now see it is sorting the data based on which order? Now it is sorting the data based on the descending order. Now when I go and click on this again, now see it is sorting the data based on which order? Now in the ascending order. Now if you want to sort the data based on the customer name column, go and click on the sort icon. Now see I am sorting the data based on which column? In the ascending order, sorry, in the descending order case. Z is on the top. If I go and click on it again, now it is sorting the data based on which order? In the ascending order. So like you can go and sort the data in the gallery based on which columns you want to sort. Now I am allowing the users to sort the data based on the customer name column, sales column, and profit column guys. Let's say I want to sort the data based on sales column. And when I go and click on the sales, now see by default is sorting the data based on the descending order. If I go and click on the sales again, now see it is sorting the data based on which order? In the ascending order. Like this, now the user can able to sort the data based on the sales column, profit column, and also the customer name column. Previously in the yesterday's class, whatever the sorting technique you are using, it is static. Whenever if you go and open the gallery, Every time it is showing the data based on the sales column in the descending order. But if the user wants to sort the data now in the ascending order, yes, if they can't click on it, now it will sort the data in the ascending order. If they want to sort the data based on the profit column, yes, they can sort the data based on the profit column either in the ascending or descending. If they want to sort the data based on the customer name column, yes, they can go and sort the data either ascending or in the descending order. So this is what how to go and sort the data in the gallery dynamically, guys. So just in place of passing the values here, let us say in place of passing the sales column, I am passing the variable name. Now whenever I click on this icon, what is happening here, guys? On select of this icon, what need to happen? It is going to declare one variable. It is going to assign this value to that variable. So whatever the value this variable is holding, this currently, let us say if I click on the sales column, this variable is holding value, what value? Sales value. Now where I am using this variable? Here. So in place of this variable name, it is going to replace the value as what? Sales. So everything I am making it as dynamic. And also one more point you need to understand here. When I go and play, let's say when I go and click on the customer name column sort order, now see it is sorting the data in the ascending order, guys. Sorry, in the descending order. In the descending order is sorting the data. But now see, there is no change in the icons. Let's say if I change the, if I go and sort the database on the sales column, I know that I am sorting the database on the sales column. But is there any indication that you are sorting the database on the sales column or you are sorting the database on the profit column or customer name column? There is no indication. So what is my requirement here is when I go and sort the data in the tape in the gallery in the ascending order, then I want to keep the arrow mark up. Here I want to change the arrow mark to up. If I sort the data in the descending order, then I want to keep the down arrow. I want to keep the arrow to down to understand based on which column you are sorting the data. So how to go and do this? Simple is nothing is there. So select the sales icon, go to the sales column, select the icon, sort icon. This icon is having one property. What is that property means? Icon property, guys. There is one property for this icon. Think icon property where it is. Go to this property called icon. Now see by default, what is the value it is having? Icon dot sort. Now just remove it. Just go and remove it. Now I'm going to use one if condition here, guys. If var sort column, if var sort column is not equals to sales, if var sort column is not equals to sales. Now see, whenever if I go and click on this sales sort icon, that means I'm clicking on it. If you are not, if this variable is not holding the sales, then what I want to do? If this variable is not holding the sales, then I want to go and keep here as short dot icon, guys. Short dot, I think icon dot sort icon. Then I want to keep here icon dot sort. If you are if the variable is not holding, what variable? Short column is not holding the sales, then I want to keep the icon dot sort. Or let me keep here, guys. I'm going to use one more if condition now. I'm going to use one more if condition. If the var short column is not sales, then go and keep same as it is, same icon. I want to say I don't want to change the icon style. Else if var short order, if var short order is equals to, if var short order is equals to, let me keep here ascending. If var short order is equals to ascending, then I want to keep the arrow to up. I want to keep the arrow to up. Icon dot arrow up. Icon dot arrow up. Else I want to keep it as icon dot arrow. I want to make the arrow to what? Down. Icon dot arrow down. This is what I'm keeping. Simple. Nothing is there, guys. Just try to understand. I'm using two if conditions. If where short column is not equal to sales, that means if this variable is not holding the sales, keep it as it is. Same value, same icon I want to keep. This icon I want to keep. Else, if this variable is holding, if this variable is holding the sales, then what I want to do? I want to change the order type. If the var short order is ascending, I want to keep it as up. If it is or if it is descending, I want to keep it as down. Try to understand simple logic, yes, but it is somewhat tricky here. If this variable is not holding the value as sales, keep the same icon. Keep the same icon. Suppose if this variable is holding the value as sales, then go and change the order. Where short order is equals to ascending means go and keep the up arrow. Otherwise, go and keep the down arrow. Simple. Nothing is there. Now, just save this and click on play. Now, see here. I am sorting the data in which order now? Ascending order. So, I am keeping the order as ascending. If I go and click on it again, now see, I'm sorting the data based on which order now? Descending. Now it is giving some indication. Now I'm sorting the data in the gallery based on which column? Sales column. What is the order it is sorting now? Descending order. If I go and click on it again, now it is sorting the data based on the ascending. What is the order it is? What is the shape it is giving now? Up arrow. I want to do the same thing for the remaining profit column and also for the customer name column, guys. Now how to do it? So in order to go and perform the same thing for the remaining two, nothing is there. Just to go to the sales, go to the icon, whatever I'm writing here, just copy it, just copy, go to the profit column, go to the profit icon, go to the icon property. And just remove this one, copy and paste the same. But here, let me go and change the column name to what? Profit. Simple. Now just go and save and click on play. Now see, by default, now it is sorting the data based on the sales column. Now, if I go and click on the profit column sort, now see, it is sorting the data based on which order? Descending order. Now when I go and click on it again, now it is sorting the data based on which order? Ascending order. Now it is giving some indication. Previously I don't have any indication. Now clearly it is stating that in this gallery I'm sorting the data based on which column? Profit column. What is the order type? Ascending order. The same thing I want to go and do it for the customer name column also. Let me go to the customer name column icon, short icon, go and select the property called icon property. No, this one, icon property. Just remove this, paste it here also. Now in place of sales, let me go and replace it with what? Customer name. Go and replace with what? Customer name. Go to the icon, replace the sales values with what? Sales column with what? Customer name. Just save it now. Save and then go and click on play. Now see, now I want to sort the data based on the customer name. And I go and click on the customer name. Now see, I'm sorting the data based on the customer name column in which order? Descending order. If I go and click on it again, now it is sorting the database on the same customer name column in which order? The ascending order. Now if you want to sort the database on the sales column, now see, I'm sorting the database on which column now? Sales column. And what is the order type? Descending order. If I want to go and click on the sort the data profit column, go and click on it. Now see, it is sorting the database on what order? Ascending order. So like this, you are able to sort the data in the galleries dynamically. In the yesterday's class, the same I am doing, but I am not using the variables. I am just hard coding the values here. In place of var short column, I am passing the column name as sales. In place of this variable name, I am passing the value as descending order. Now to make it as dynamic, just in place of passing the values manually, I am hard coding the values. Now see, why I am declaring the variables here on start means, why I am declaring two variables here on the on start of the app means, because whenever if I go and open the app, whenever if I go and open the app for the first, whenever if I go and open the app, by default, it need to go and keep the data in the gallery in which order means in the descending order based on the sales column. By default, if you see, By default, whenever if you come to this gallery screen, it is keeping the data in which order? Descending order. Based on which column? Sales column. For this reason, by default, I want to keep the data in the gallery in the descending order based on the sales column. That is the reason why I am creating these two variables here. One is var short column, sales is the value, here it is descending order. If you don't want to keep the default order, if you don't want to keep any default order in the gallery, if you want to keep the actual data, if you don't want to sort it, then no need to go and create those two variables in the on start. No need to go and create the variables in the on start. Directly you can go and declare the variables where? On select of this icon. There is one property called on select, right? Directly here itself you can go and declare. To make it as dynamic, we are declaring the variables here on the on start of app. Fine. Okay. Now we know that how to go and sort the data in the gallery dynamically with the help of these controls, and also we are able to understand based on which column I am sorting the data based by changing the icon property. And if you observe in this gallery here, it is throwing one warning message. And also if you observe, when I go to the gallery in the items property, when I go to the code, when I go to this code, actual code, here also it is giving some blue underlined. Now what it indicates? If you have any blue underlined mark within the formula, what it indicates?
Delegation.
Yes, delegation warning. It is giving some delegation warning. Now see, when I go over the mouse on here on this warning message, it is giving some warning message. What is that? Delegation warning. The sort by column part of this formula might not work correctly on the large data sets. If your data set is having more than 500 rows, then you are not able to sort the data more than 500 rows. It will sort the data only on what? Less, up to 500 rows it will sort the data. And also if you see here, how many rows in the gallery means 500 rows. Why? Because by default is loading 500 rows. Why? Because there is some delegation limits is there. So how to go and overcome this problem? Why it is throwing this delegation warning means because I'm using the variables. Because of using the variables, it is showing the delegation message. If you are, instead of going and using the variables, if you go and use the column names, sales column, if you go and use the column name as sales, and the order type is descending order, the order type is descending order. Now see, there is no delegation warning message, there is no delegation. Okay, now you can sort the data and the entire data, but when I go and click on the cells, now see, it is not sorting the data. The icons are changing, but I'm not able to sort the data here. Why? Because I'm not using the variables in the gallery items property. So to make the sorting technique in the gallery dynamic, we need to go and use the variables here, guys. Let me go and use the variables here. Let me pass the variables. One is var short column, var short column, and keep comma. Second one is what? Var short order. So I'm using some variables here. Now how to go and overcome this problem? How to go and overcome this problem? So in order to overcome this problem, what I will do here is, instead of hard coding the value, so instead of using the variables, I will hard code the values. I will hard code the values manually. But before going to hard code the values manually here, I'm going to use one function here, guys. What that function is? Switch function. I'm going to use one function called the switch function. Switch, let me keep here, switch function. Now in this switch function, what I'm doing here is, I'm going to use that variable var short column. Var short column is equals to sales. Now try to understand. Into this variable, into this variable, I'm going to assign one value now. What's that value? Into this variable, I'm going to assign one value manually. What is that? Sales. Once after passing the value to this, into this variable sales, now keep comma. Next it is asked, I think not equals to, here we need to go and keep comma, guys. Var short column. Now into this variable, what is the value I'm going to assign here is sales is the value I'm going to assign. If it is equals to sales, if this variable is holding the value as sales, then what I want to perform, I need to go and perform these things. I need to go and perform this. So same code, but here in place of using the variables, let me go and use the column name itself. Let me go and use the column name itself. If I pass the column name here, again it is showing the delegation warning for the order type. So to overcome this delegation warning, instead of passing the order type directly, instead of passing the variable, what I'm doing here is I'm going to use one if condition here now. Again I'm going to use one if condition now here. Now what is that if condition is? If var short order, var short order is equals to ascending, is equals to ascending, then I want to keep it as, if the var short if var short order is equals to ascending, then go and keep it as descending. Otherwise I want to keep it as same ascending order. I want to keep it as same ascending order. Now just close it, just close it. Now this close is for what? This close is for sort by columns, and I need to go and use another one more close. This close is for what? Switch. Now instead of going and closing the switch here directly, here I am going to sort the data based on only one column, sales column. Now I want to go and sort the data based on another one more column also. What's that column? Is profit column. Now just keep comma, keep comma. Now go and use the profit column here. Let me pass here the column name as profit, profit, and then keep comma. Now whatever the code you are writing here from here to here, just copy the code, copy the code up to here, copy it, and then paste it here. Just copy and paste. And also here it is sales, right? Let me replace it to profit. Let me go and replace with to profit. Now keep comma. Next I need to go and sort the data based on one more column. What's that column? Customer name column. Customer name. Once after passing the column name, keep comma. Again copy and paste the same code. Again copy the same code from here to here, copy the same code, paste it here. Again I'm just copying and pasting the same code, guys. Now here in place of profit, let me go and change it to customer name, pass it to customer name. Now this close is for this short, and there is one more close I need to go and keep for the, which one? For this switch function. This close is for what? Means switch. Nothing is there. Try to understand, guys. Just to make this as dynamic, I'm using one switch function. If this variable var short column is holding the sales, then go and perform this action. Otherwise if it is holding the profit, then go and perform these actions. Otherwise if it is holding the value as customer name, then go and perform these actions. Everything is same, just I am adding something here, that is switch. Now just save it, just save it, and then go and click on play. Now see, let me go to the first screen. Now let me go to the first screen. Let me go and click on run on start, run on start. Now play the app. Now when I go to the gallery screen, now see, by default it is sorting the data on what? In the ascending order, in the ascending order. And now when I go and click on this icon customer name, it is sorting the data in the descending order. When I click on it again, it is sorting the data in ascending order. You can sort the data now. Same thing will apply. Profit column also you can go and sort. And now see, previously I'm having the delegation warning. Now there is any delegation warning for this gallery here? No. In this code also I'm having any delegation warning? No, there is no delegation. Now if you want to search the data, if you want to sort the data, you can sort the data in the entire gallery. You can go and sort the data in the entire gallery, not 100 rows, not 500 rows. Even if your data source is having more than 200 rows also it can support. You can sort the data in the entire data in the gallery. You can go and filter the data in the entire gallery. Now see, applying the filter condition is what? first class. Let me go to the top. Filter condition is first class. If you want to apply the east region as east, or you can go and keep the region as central. Now see, I'm applying the sorting filter dynamically. Let me set the category as technology. And if you want to filter search the data, you can go and search. Let's say I'm searching the data for uh, 1 5. Now see, names row id starting with 1 5. I'm able to search it. Now here also, in this I want to sort the data. Let's say I want to keep in the ascending order. Now when I go and click on it, now see, it will go and sort the data in the ascending order, in the descending order. Now see, it need to change. It is taking some time. It will change. When I go and click on the profit column, now that it is taking some time here. Now see, it is sorting the data in the descending order. When I go and click on this also, here also you can see, now it is in the ascending order. Ascending order means first start with a. It will take some time. Why? Because it is applying some lot of conditions. It need to move up. And see, it is changed. So like this, you can go and apply the search dynamically. You can filter the data in the gallery dynamically. You can apply the sorting or technique also dynamically. So if you observe, if you go and see any app, if you go and take any app guess, no doubt that app has searching capabilities. You need to provide some provision to the users to search the data. You need to provide some provision to the users to filter the data, and also you need to provide the provisions to the users to sort the data dynamically. So if you take any app, no doubt these components will be there in that app. Mandatory things, important topics in the interviews, whatever I'm discussing in the last 4 classes, short, starting from the search. So we started discussing from search. Search is important. Search function is important. In the search also, we can search the data with the help of search function. We can search the data with the help of filter function. And also you can filter the data in the galleries with the help of filter. And next, how to filter the data in the galleries in 2 ways. One is static and dynamic. And how to sort that data in the gallery with the help of sort by columns and sort functions. And also we discussed about what is the difference between the sort by columns and sort functions. And we discussed here how to sort the data in the galleries by using both search, filter and sort combinedly. Up to here we discussed in yesterday's class. Today's session we discussed here how to sort the data in the gallery dynamically by using one control called sort controls. And also we discussed here how to perform search, filter, sort combinedly and dynamically in the galleries. Now in this gallery, you are able to filter the data. You are able to filter, search the data. If you want to go and filter the data, you can go and filter the data here. And also, if you want to sort the data, yes, you can go and sort the data. Now see, it is sorting the data. Like this, we are able to perform sorting, filtering and searching the data in the galleries. Most important topics in the Power Apps case. No doubt you will get the questions in this. Whatever I am discussing from the around the last 5 10 classes, all the classes are interlinked. Last 9 to 10 classes, each and every class is interlinked. There is some internal relationship between each and every topic. So whatever discussed here, each and every point is important, every topic is important. No doubt you will get some questions in the interviews. Fine. It's fine. Let me stop here. This is all about how to go and sort the data in the gallery dynamically, how to search the data, and how to go and filter the